Hi, my name's Dave Moses. I'm about to share with you a piece of hypnosis that you can learn and you can do. I'm going to show you how to do it that may save your life. Cue exciting music. Cue opening credits. I don't have any exciting music or opening credits, but I do have a piece of hypnosis that may figuratively save your life. But if you are a parent with young kids, it may literally save your life, or at least your sanity. My name is Dave Moses. I'm a writer and a hypnotist, and I live in Vancouver. About a month or so ago, I was on a hypnosis forum, and some of the people there were on a thread talking about using hypnosis to help kids, particularly to help kids get to sleep. I was reading through the comments and I was sort of making my own comments and talking about different ways you could do that. And it was as if a hole that had lasted 7 years suddenly closed up. And I remembered, I am not joking, I remembered that I had in fact written 7 years ago a self-help book for parents to help them get their kids to sleep. I had totally forgotten this. I'll put it up here. There it is. The Snooze Whisperer. One ordinary dad's tried and tested method to help you help your restless child get to sleep without tears. So, notwithstanding the awesome title, it was something I put out in the internet. I can't remember where I had posted it, but I was sure that this was going to make me, first of all, a millionaire. I was going to make millions of dollars. I was going to become an internet sensation. I was going to be called to self-help parent groups all over the world because I had stumbled on the perfect way to get your child to sleep. Now, a little bit of backstory. I'm going to leave out a whole lot of details that you can find, of course, in the book if that's something that you're interested in. And I will show you the method. I'll share that with you in the next couple of minutes. But just to give you some background, bedtimes, we have 2 kids. And when they were young, I'm going to say between the ages of, let's say, 2 to 5, bedtimes were like a nightmare. It was 2 to 3 hours minimum of night, and that is without any exaggeration. It took us like 2 to 3 hours each night to get both of the kids down. Now, we could have shut the door and let them cry it out, but we said that's not something that we were going to do. And so we were trying our best, and we took advice from every corner. I had advice from my mom, which was, make sure you feed them up. Make sure they're nice and full before they go to bed, and then that'll just put them. Or give them milk, give them have a bath time, that lavender soap. There was nothing that we didn't try. And then one night, I don't know what happened, but the little one said something about this game that he was playing at school. You probably know it. And it became the foundation of what was going to be the Snooze Whisperer technique, which I will call HSKT. And if you've got kids, those initials might mean something for you. It's head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Do you all know that game? Okay, I will sing it. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes, head and shoulders, knees and toes, eyes, ears, mouth and nose. I could even do it in French for you if you like. Tête, épaule, no, okay. But anyways, that was he wanted to play that. But he wanted me to play the part of him. So I was going to play head and shoulders, knees and toes, but I was going to do it on him. So I went head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And as I said that, as I, spoke the rhyme, I touched him on the head, touched him on the shoulder, touched him on the knees, touched him on the toes. And the geography was that the child was laying out in the bed and I was laying behind him. And, and I just, touched him gently on the head and the shoulders and the knees and the toes. And, if you have kids that age, you know that it's not a huge, stretch for the body to go from the kid's head to their toes. It was very simple to do. And by the time I had done it like twice or something, he had fallen asleep. It was just like that. He had just gone right to sleep. And, that bedtime that night was just like, it was a celebration. I could not believe that this had happened. And I wasn't expecting that this was going to be something that was going to happen every night. But I was just grateful to have that night. The next night, we tried it again, and it worked again. And I was telling my wife, I go, this is crazy. And I thought it was me. I had this sort of special gift. So I wasn't expecting at that time that it would be something that maybe she could do as well. But she goes, it's my night tonight, so I'm going to try it. And she tried it, and it worked as well. So this is great. Now hold on. Don't go running off now to do this because there's more. So what was interesting was whatever was working was transferable. It wasn't just me. There was something about that ritual, that routine that allowed my child to let himself get to sleep. And it was something that my wife could do as well. So it wasn't dependent on one person. So this was exciting because it was sort of like all of a sudden it was like anybody could do this. However, after a week or so, the kid caught on. He caught on that somehow bedtime he was skipping out on all the drama and the fun that we used to have, and he wasn't. He was going okay, and I was going, head and shoulders, and he was going, no, not tonight. That's okay. No thanks. And and it was back to the old routine, and I was going, you sure you don't? No, and he wouldn't have any, and it was back to the old way. And my heart was broken. It was like another hour and a half this time before we got to bed, and it was just like, I don't know. I could taste that success. I could taste my freedom. And then something else happened. I'm going to pause here for suspense. And what happened was, at bedtime we have stories. So we have, we used to have like our book stories that we would read, but we would also have these things called imagination stories. And imagination stories were just sort of made up stories that I would make up for the kids as they went to bed. And it was just typically based on whatever books that we had handy. So it might have been, Star Wars books or Marvel books or, Tashi books or something like that. Any of the sort of multitude of books, little critter books, any of those books that we had on the go, that they usually wound up in the story somehow. So I tried to incorporate the stories that we were using, that we were sharing at bedtime, whether it was like story of Spider-Man or Darth Vader or Tashi or something like that, into the head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So I would use, for example, like Darth Vader goes out flying his ship, and he's going to visit Luke on Hoth. I know, don't worry about it. And then I would touch his head, and he held this helmet. Darth Vader had a helmet that protected his head and allowed him to breathe. He had this big cape that he wore that kept him warm while he was visiting the icy planets, and cool while he visited planets like Tatooine. He had a belt around, and so I just would go through every part of his body, making it clear as we were going down that there was something that he could bring his awareness to as I highlighted the different parts of the wardrobe or the uniform or the costume that he was wearing. And this was a game changer. It was every night. It could have been the same thing. It could have been a different thing. If he was interested in something new or something else that, caught his fancy, like the Lego movie or something like that, I was able to just use that to go through that ritual with him. And it worked. It might even worked quicker than the head and shoulders, knees and toes. It was so powerful that I couldn't believe it. And it got to the point where we had, when bedtime came, and this is the point you want to get to, when bedtime came, he was asleep before we even had a chance to do that. And I can say it has been that way, with a few notable exceptions, every night since. I really do believe that going through this ritual, sending his awareness to the different parts of his body and allowing him to relax naturally in his own time and at his own pace, allowed him to teach himself how to get to sleep. And whatever misunderstandings and myths there are surrounding hypnosis, I think that is sort of one of them, is that hypnosis is something that is done to you. And it's not the case. Hypnosis is something that you do to yourself. And it might be corny to say, but I think it's an example of that idea that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And if that's a lesson that you can learn, that opens up a whole new realm of experiences for you in order, to enjoy the benefits of hypnosis, but also that skill of being able to hypnotize yourself. So I urge you, if you have a child and and there's troubles around bedtime, try this. It might save your sanity. And if you yourself are having trouble getting to sleep at night, any night, try this. You don't have to actually touch yourself and things like that, but send your awareness to your head, to your shoulder, to your breath, to your fingertips. And you might find that you're asleep before you know it, and you've trained yourself to send that awareness all the way down and let you sleep. Okay, I hope this helps. If you like this video, I know this isn't the typical one, please put a like, subscribe. I'm trying to get my subscriptions up. If I can get up to 100, it'd be great. We've been having a lot of success lately, so that would mean a lot. And also, I'm going to put a link somewhere here if you're interested in getting the book and getting all the sort of the gory details of how to do this. Maybe that would make a difference for you. All right. So until next time, we'll see you. My name's Dave Moses, and see you then.